Do you believe ADHD is being overdiagnosed in adults? Some researchers say ADHD can appear for the first time in adulthood. Others say that's impossible. If it wasn't there in childhood, then what you're seeing must be something else: depression, anxiety, overwhelm, burnout. What do you think? Please put in the comment box. But while scientists debate, real people are caught in the middle. Adults who look back on years of missed deadlines, broken routines, constant self criticism often wonder if there's finally an explanation for why life has always felt harder than it should. I'm Professor Shanaya Rathod, a psychiatrist in the United Kingdom. I post interesting videos on well-being weekly on my YouTube channel. So please don't forget to subscribe and you will not miss out on the next debate. For decades, ADHD was seen as a childhood disorder. The fidgety child in class, the daydreamer who couldn't focus. The story went, they'll grow out of it. But that isn't always true. Studies following children into adulthood show that almost half continue to have significant symptoms. Brain scans reveal subtle differences in networks that control attention and self-regulation. And treatments that help children, like medications, therapies, also help adults. For many, a late diagnosis feels like turning on a light in a room that's been dark for years. So, why does ADHD happen? Well, there isn't one single cause. It often runs in families, which tells us genes matter. But the environment matters too. Stress early in life, pregnancy complications, or growing up in difficult circumstances can all raise the risk. From a thinking perspective, ADHD is linked to problems with executive functions, the mental skills we rely on to plan, stay organized, remember instructions, and control impulses. Brain imaging shows differences in circuits that regulate attention, motivation, and reward. So, no, the ADHD brain isn't broken, but it is wired in a different way that makes focus and self control harder. There are still uncertainties. Diagnosing ADHD in adults is not easy. Trouble focusing, feeling restless, disorganized, they can all come from ADHD, but they can come from anxiety, depression, or just the non stop distractions of modern life. Who hasn't felt their attention collapse after too much time on their phone? Where do we draw the line between everyday struggles and a disorder? That line isn't always clear. And paradoxically, individuals with ADHD may be able to remain focused when performing specific tasks, such as playing video games. Overconcentration or hyperfocus in highly motivating situations can be viewed as an attention dysregulation rather than a deficit disorder. Many patients with ADHD can concentrate in some contexts, but they cannot deploy concentration at some ordinary moments in which it is needed. You may also wonder why rapid emotional variation, anger, irritability, which a lot of patients describe and is also called emotional dysregulation, is not one of the criteria for diagnosis. Well, again, emotional dysregulation can occur in many conditions, including borderline personality disorder. This is why late onset ADHD is so controversial. Some adults show no symptoms as kids but meet criteria later on. So is this a new form of ADHD or are we mislabeling something else? The research is not clear and currently diagnostic criteria require that the symptoms are present in childhood and have followed a pervasive pattern into adulthood. And meanwhile, diagnoses are rising fast. Some see this as overdue recognition, people finally getting help. Others worry about overdiagnosis, about medicalizing normal difficulties, and about stimulants being prescribed too freely. Now, the truth may be that both problems exist. Too many adults still missed, too many others given a label that doesn't fit. And here's something often overlooked. Treatment isn't just medication. Yes, stimulants and non-stimulants can make a big difference, but lifestyle adjustments, strategic techniques to manage focus, procrastination, and therapy matters too. Cognitive behavioral therapy teaches strategies for organization, planning, and managing emotions. Skills training gives people structure and accountability. Lifestyle changes like regular sleep, exercise, mindfulness, they help too. The best results come from combining approaches tailored to the individual. For those who have this condition, these debates are not abstract. The difficulties shape daily life. For some, diagnosis brings clarity, relief, and access to tools that finally work. And for others, stigma keeps them silent. Too often, ADHD is brushed off as an excuse, a fad, or poor self discipline. That stigma can do as much harm as the symptoms themselves. So, where does this leave us? Well, ADHD is real. It can persist into adulthood, and effective treatments exist. But we need humility around the gray areas, how to diagnose carefully, how to distinguish ADHD from overlapping conditions, and how to handle questions like late onset ADHD without rushing to judgment. If you ever wondered whether your struggles with focus or organization might be ADHD, please don't rely on online checklists or social media. Seek a proper evaluation because ADHD is complex and it deserves more than quick labels. Medicine rarely gives us black and white answers, but curiosity, compassion, and an honest debate moves us forward. And when it comes to ADHD in adults, that conversation is still evolving and still deeply human. Please subscribe to this channel if you enjoyed today's video. The more subscribers I have, the more YouTube gives me the ability to make more creative videos. Like it, share it, tell it. Tell it to all the people you know. And thank you for watching.